me now is Jonathan Lafontaine. He is the Strategic Advisor of Exploration and Promotion for the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forests in Quebec. Good to see you, sir.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
So about 5 years ago, Quebec brought in this strategy for critical minerals, and we've talked to a few of your colleagues in government the last couple of years at this event. So can you give us a snapshot of the plan, and what have been the key successes in the past 5 years or so?
Sure. So the plan was launched in 2020. It was a 5-year plan. The main plan was to look at critical minerals and strategic minerals. The difference for us being the critical minerals was for our current economy, maintaining our current economy, and strategic minerals was about looking at the future economy and some of the policies that Quebec wanted to enact. So for instance, the policy for energy transition required batteries. And so the battery materials became very strategic for Quebec in that sense. In Quebec, our mineral plan worked in collaboration with other policies, and it was a very broad-based, very horizontal plan that allowed a lot of different ministries within the government and different government agencies to work together. So that was one of the big successes of the plan. The Critical and Strategic Mineral Plan focused on 4 different orientations. So if I were to summarize them all in one word each, I would say explore, develop, recycle, and communicate. So in terms of exploration, one of the successes that the plan brought for us was a very high watermark in terms of the number of active claims that were staked in Quebec. So there was a really important boom in exploration potential that was seen in Quebec, specifically for lithium, especially in the James Bay area. In areas that were explored for, even in sometimes where lithium was identified, but that was just not valued at the time. And now we see that there is an incredible potential there. And when we looked at developing these resources, well, between the launch of the plan and today, we have an increase of about 50% of advanced mineral projects. So projects that have at least a preliminary economic assessment. And when we looked at the recycling component of the plan, we wanted to, recycling to us not only meant recycling the final product, but it also meant looking at mine tailings and reutilizing some of those tailings. And so in some of the processing units in Quebec, they were able to extract scandium from what would otherwise be waste. And we have another pilot project to extract gallium from the red muds in the aluminum industry. So these are a couple of good examples of how we've applied this new thinking to extracting resources. And the final orientation of the plan was to communicate, where we had outreach with different communities, with the general public. And we also wanted to help identify outside of Quebec what the advantages were for working within the province.
Mm-hmm. All right, good summary there. Now, there have been some updates, I understand, to the plan, and presumably there are going to be more moving forward. What's being done to enhance the program?
So we looked at some of the minerals on our critical mineral list, and some of the things that we saw that were not initially noted on the first part of the plan. Was the importance of decarbonation. So decarbonizing the steel industry, for instance, where we needed high purity iron to help do that. Well, Quebec has that potential. So we added different minerals to the list to incorporate that concept into the plan.
Now, Jonathan, Quebec has a long history with mining. Yeah. How would you describe the current ecosystem, especially as it's been developed with, say, Bécancour being such a hub?
That's right. So, Quebec has over 160 years of experience in mining. It is certainly very, the expertise is there. And one of the other advantages of working in Quebec is the number of government agencies that work together and that collaborate with the mining industry. You mentioned Bécancour. Bécancour is one of the initiatives of Investissement Québec. So the industrial park is owned by the government. But we can help promoters build processing units in that park. So there's a partnership and a collaboration that can develop that helps synergize that entire battery space. Other agencies that are spearheaded by the government, I mentioned IQ, but there are a lot of others like Société Plan Nord, which helps develop northern or infrastructure in northern Quebec, SOCEM, which looks at exploring the mineral potential of Quebec. We make everything accessible online through our very extensive databases. We really do a lot to make things easier to go from exploration to development, mining, processing, and rehabilitation.